though, okay? So, this very first one, I'm gonna do the long drawn out way, okay? So, they both have the same index, which is 2. There's a baby 2 on the outside that we cannot see, okay? Which means that you can put them underneath the same radical. So, the very first thing that's gonna happen is this. They can go underneath the same radical. So all I did was draw one giant tall house rather than 2 small houses, okay? So what you're gonna do next is check on your calculator and see if that fraction can be reduced. So you're gonna hit your fraction button, not a square root, okay? Hit your fraction button and put a 4 on the top and a 16 on the bottom. Okay, well what does that reduce to? 1/4. Now, if you get the same answer back, then that means it just doesn't reduce. So this becomes 1/4. Okay, and from here, then, we're going to go ahead and separate it back to its original form, which is like this. Square root 1, square root 4. Okay, and then you're going to check them each individually if they can be reduced. Okay, and so if we do a square root of 1, well, what are some factors of 1? 1 and 1, right? So 1 and 1. Okay, and so 1 is not going to be reduced. However, you can do this, right? So so who can go?
1.
A group of 1s can go. Okay, and so then there's going to be a 1 left over. Okay, but that's still the same thing. Okay, so with the 4 then, okay, what are some factors of 4?
2.
2 and 2, so who can go? A 2, okay, can go on the outside. And so what is happening is you're reducing the fraction, okay, together, and this is like really long, drawn out, okay, doing it slow. You're reducing the fraction together, okay, and then you're reducing it separately, okay? So what you're going to be left with here is going to be just 1/2. Okay, so 3, and this is how you can, not cheat necessarily, but kind of. So on your calculator, you know you're just going to type in the fraction as a whole. So you're going to say fraction button 10/45. Okay, and what do you get? 2/9? So we're going to have a 2 on the top and a 9 on the bottom, is how that reduced. Okay, and so then we can kind of check over here. 2, what are some factors of 2?
2.
1 and 2, so 1 times 2 is 2. So who can go?
No one.
No one, so then they would go back on the inside and you would multiply them, which is going to be what?
2.
2, that means 2 does not reduce. So we know we're going to have a 2 on the top. Okay, 9, what are some factors of 9?
3.
3 and 3. So who can go?
A pair of 3.
A group of 3s. Who's left on the inside?
No.
Nobody. And so there's going to be no square root there on the bottom. Okay, 5 is 20/64. What does that reduce to? 20/64.
5/16.
5 on the top and 16 on the bottom. Okay, will a 5 reduce?
No.
No. Okay, so 5 is still going to be a square root of 5. Okay, 2, 3, 5, 7. Okay, those are not going to reduce. So we're still going to have a 5 on the bottom. Okay, 16 is going to be 2 and 8, 2, 4, 2, 2. So who can go?
2 pairs of 2s.
2 pairs of 2s. Okay, and so it's, again, I'm doing it the long way, but you're going to have 2, 2 on the outside. Who's left on the inside?
No. 4.
Okay, nobody. And then what are you going to do with that 2, 2?
Multiply.
Multiply them. So really what we're going to be left with is square root of 5/4. Okay, 7, 5/80. What does that reduce to? 1 over 16. Okay. Square root of 1 is going to just be 1, okay, with no square root. Okay, and 16 we just did, and what was 16?
4.
It was 4, okay, we just did it right here. Okay, and so there's no need to kind of do it again because okay, 15 over 20, what does that reduce to?
3 over 5.
3 over 5?
Yeah. 4.
3 over 4? Okay, what are the numbers that do not reduce? 2, 3, 5, 7, the same ones that we circled, 2, 3, 5, 7. So square root of 3 is going to stay the square root of 3, okay? Okay, well what about 4? What are some factors of 4? 2, 2, so who can go?
1, 2, 4.
One group of 2s, so there's going to be just a 2 here on the bottom. Okay, 10 over 125. 225?
Yeah.
225. Okay, we already know, does a 2 reduce?
No.
No. Okay, so 2 does not reduce. Okay, 25, what are some factors of 25?
2 and
5 and 5. So who can go?
1.
5.
One group of 5s. Okay, again, the one mistake people make is this. Like me. They'll do this. Why is that not correct?
Because it's on one baby.
No, because it's outside.
They should be on the outside of the square root, okay? So we said this, 5 and 5, right? They could go, well, where do people go if they can go? On the outside. So it should be like this at the very least, okay? But people have a tendency to see that house, and then they'll put the house here on the bottom when it does not belong, okay? So this does not belong here, okay? It's just 5 on the bottom. Okay, 16 over 4.
4.
Okay, so 16 over 4, what do you get?
4.
4. So where does that 4 go? On the top or bottom? What do you think?
On the bottom.
Okay, so what do you do? So here's our options. Either put the 4 here or put the 4 here. Okay, well, what do you do if there's no number somewhere? What number goes there?
1.
A 1 goes there, not a 0. So a 1. So which one of these is equivalent to a 4? What is 4 divided by 1? 4. What is 1 divided by 4? Well, that doesn't make sense because that's not an option. Okay, 4 divided by 1. Check it on your calculator. What is 4 divided by 1? Okay, what is 1 divided by 4?
1 over 1.
1 over 4. Hit your SD button. Hit the SD button. SD. Hello. Maybe. I don't think so. No. 0.25. So 1 over 4 and 4 over 1 are not the same thing. Okay? This is 4. This is 0.25. So 25 cents versus $4. Okay? They're not the same thing. So when you get something and it's a whole number, it goes on the top. And if there's no number on the bottom, it's a 1. Okay? Any number you can put over 1. It doesn't change anything. Okay? So 16 over 4, you got 4. So it's really this, though, okay? 4 over 1, the square root of 4 over 1, and then 1 square root of 1. Okay? Square root of 4 becomes what?
2.
2 and 2. So who can go?
1, 2.
One group of 2s. So is that going to go on the inside or outside? Outside. So this is just gonna become a 2, okay? And the square root of 1 becomes what? A 1, which is just a 2. Okay, 2 over 1 is just a 2. Okay, 2 over 32. What is 2 over 32? 1 over 16? Okay, so square root of 1 over square root of 16. Okay, square root of 1 becomes what? Just plain 1, okay? 16 becomes just a plain 4, okay? And if that's not making sense to you, you can still do this. 2, 8, 2, 4, 2, 2. Okay, well, 2 groups of 2's can go, and then you're gonna multiply them, which is just 4, okay? So if you don't just have it memorized that square root of 16 is plain 4, then do this. You guys all know how to do this part by now, okay? So that's an option to do that. Okay, 25 over 9. It's still 25 over 9? Okay, so that means it doesn't reduce. Okay, 25, what's 25 factors 25? 5 and 5, right? So who can go? A group of 5s. Are they going to go inside or outside? Outside. Okay, 9. What are some factors in 9? 3 and 3. So who can go? A group of 3s inside or outside? Outside. So there's no square roots even left, okay? So it's just 5 over 3. Okay, and lastly, 6 over 16. Huh? 3 over 8? So it's going to be square root of 3 over square root of 8. Okay, well, square root of 3 is what? Square root of 3. Okay, it doesn't reduce, so this is still going to be there. Okay, 8 is going to be 2, 4, 2, 2. So who can go? One group of 2's, and then what?
2 and a half.
And then a 2 in the house. Okay, so it's going to look like that. Okay, you guys have 10 to do on your own. Go through and get your 10 done, and then you're done for today.